On the one hand, you've got avoid foolish controversies. Put that on one side of your mind. This is all over the pastoral epistles, for example. There's many voices about not getting into a controversy that's unproductive. On the other hand, you've got other passages where Paul defends his ministry. 2 Corinthians 4:2, for example, an amazing verse that concludes with these words, "By the open statement of the truth, we would commend ourselves to everyone's conscience in the sight of God." So Paul is saying, don't get into the foolish controversies, but on the other hand, don't go completely radio silent and never say anything. There's a time to speak up and commend yourself to everyone's conscience or your ministry and speak out and be courageous and shepherd people. And so the tension here that I actively wrestle with and frankly don't know the answer to is, how do you do both of those? How do you avoid the foolish controversies but speak with wisdom and courage when you need to? I know there's no formula for this. And 2 Corinthians itself is a kind of tortured letter where Paul's wrestling with the awkwardness of having to do it. I don't have all the answers here. I actively wrestle with this. I need wisdom to know how. But one of the encouragements we have is there are more reasonable people out there than we realize, who probably, if you're speaking up, you're trying to reinforce basic moral boundaries. There's more people out there who appreciate that. And if we can all kind of start coming together around the basics, again, doing the moral triage, that's a good first step. This is tricky, and we need wisdom about that. But here's what I will say. If you're normally accustomed to just sitting things out and being quiet, now might be a time to speak up, at least in very modest and constructive ways. Help us reestablish basic moral parameters where our society seems like it's just being shaken at the foundations. And with this, one final word I'll leave you with is being willing to take breaks and just slow down and plug your heart into the gospel.